Hi everybody, welcome to January 20th to January 26th of 2020. We're going to be pulling general messages for all the signs, but we're going to front load with astrology like I did last time. I'm going to timestamp below in the description box. If you're not interested in this part, I'm going to go through a couple of transits that are happening in the sky, and then I'm going to pull a couple of astrology tarot cards, the Black Moon Tarot, for the general messages, and then I'm going to get into each of the signs. Okay, so starting on the 20th, we have the sun entering Aquarius, guys, at 9:54 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just apply that time to wherever you are on the planet. So the sun's going to be in Aquarius from the 20th of January to the 18th of February. And during this cycle, we're going to be especially motivated by a hunger for knowledge. Knowledge, experience, originality, something different, innovation, doing things outside of the box, that box that we normally function in. It's just more important to us than doing things as we have been, or maybe how we should be, because it is Aquarius. It's really out of the box, right? We are becoming more aware in this energy of what's outdated in our lives, and we'll be pushing to find new perspectives and new approaches to ways of doing things. To just structure, think about the structure that we've been feeling, right? Under Capricorn, right? It's been like very structure. There are like class distinctions. There's a sense of order that Capricorn finds really appealing, and that we really needed, right, to get this ball rolling, but now seems to be a bit too rigid to all of us. So the freedom of self and the individual is becoming really more important to all of us right now. And we're all feeling it in different areas. I did mention the houses that we're all going to be, and I've mentioned the houses in a couple of videos now at this point, that we're all going to be working through this year. So think about what I'm saying in relation to whatever house it is, right? So if you're Cancer, everything that I'm saying, you're going to be thinking about how to do relationships differently. If you're Virgo in your fifth house, you're going to be thinking about your hobbies and things that you do for fun differently, and you're going to be looking at your relationship with your children differently, right? It depends on where this is placed. Okay. And I'm just going to keep talking about it probably for the rest of the year. So, but it's really about us striving to free ourselves from some restrictions and inhibitions and limitations that just feel really, really constraining rather than safe. Because for a minute it felt safe, but now it's not safe anymore, And then on the 24th, we have the new moon. New moon in Aquarius, 4:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the new moon in Aquarius marks the beginning of a new cycle for sure. The Capricorn new moon cycle ends, and this new moon cycle begins. And in Aquarius, it's friendship, group activities, socials pursuit, any sort of group gatherings, projects, trying something new, joining a new group, any sort of humanitarian effort actually even falls under this, but all of these things are going to be more of a focus than they have been. So there are new beginnings regarding any of these areas, right? Just really getting out there and getting involved in stuff. And this is a time during which we should solve problems that require thinking outside of the boxes, as I've been talking about. Really look to the future with a brand new positive and hopeful vision. Brainstorm, socialize, just focus on how things are going to be just moving forward, and expressing platonic love for those around us, and giving our emotions and our passions a break as we develop more objectivity and some detachment from past hurts and past haunts, and just connecting with friends, guys. Like seriously, if you don't have friends, then it could be your family, it could be your colleagues, but it's really embracing friends, family, neighbors, any group activity, anything like that really can be focused on here in such a beautiful way, right? So reaching out to people in your social circle, reaching out to your tribe, and just like recognizing here the value of those friendships and those networks. And also, though, recognize at some level, guys, these people are kind of like your ticket out of, I'm going to call it stage one. I'm going to call January stage one. It's month one, it's stage one of this new shift into this new life, into this new cycle. And I know we've all been feeling it. Oh my gosh, right? It's been big. It's been big. Obviously, depending on where it's hitting you, it's going to be a little more ground shaking than for others, but you definitely want to be looking at your rising sign for this one, guys, for sure. Absolutely. All right. But these friends and family members and our group are going to be helping us to be able to have a sense of detachment from whatever is challenging us to break away from, because there is this breaking away, right, with Saturn and this transformation with Pluto. So we're really going to be needing to rely on our friends, our family, our hobbies, other activities to pivot our thoughts and our attentions to just give us a breather so we can start to heal and move. It's stage one. It's stage one. And with this potent Aquarius energy, we have the chance to make progressive changes in our lives. For some of us, circumstances are such that we need to pay more attention to these matters rather than divert our attention. It does depend on the placement. Now, this phase of the moon is going to be happening at 4 degrees and 22 minutes of Aquarius, affecting people born with personal planets and points at approximately 0 to 8 degrees of the fixed sign. So that would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius most significantly. We're all going to be feeling it, but those 4 signs and those degrees are going to be feeling it really much more profoundly, okay, than anyone else. So let's pull a couple of Black Moon Tarot to get a collective message of what we have as we enter this last part. I'm calling it the last part of phase 1 here. 3rd house, okay. It's about communication, messages. This has to do with Mercury, right? So especially like Gemini and Virgo. Saturn, well, of course. Oh, Saturn, I don't know. I'm getting a little tired of you now. And it just started. Okay, so we have Saturn and we have 3rd house messages, okay? So the 3rd house messages, again, anything mercurial. So this is how you think, feel, write, communicate, anything like that. This is you needing to look at how you're communicating, assess if you're communicating effectively enough, if you are not being too harsh, if you need to change things up in the way you communicate. Now, the fact that we got the 3rd house with Saturn says that you're going to be getting in touch here in this 3rd house energy with something that's very old and outdated. Saturn does that anyway, but you're going to be getting messages, synchronistic messages coming into your life that's really going to be highlighting what really needs to go, what like literally has become like necrotic. Do you know what I mean? Like dying skin. I hate to say it like that, but it's kind of like that in a way. It takes a long time to happen, but when it happens, it just starts to like fall off, right? So this is what's really happening here. And Saturn with the truth, I mean, this says it might feel bad now, but it's going to be resolved. Saturn's the planet, it's the planet of the Reaper, the Lord of Karma. And this, it's a rainbow planet, represents what's tangible and solid in our lives. The Greeks called Saturn Kronos. So a lot of you guys might have heard Kronos and Saturn being used interchangeably. So we could thank the Greeks for that. And Kronos was the father of Zeus. And Kronos devoured his children to prevent losing his throne as the king of the gods. So Saturn in astrology is often referred to as the god who ate his own children. Isn't that lovely, right? Because of the energy of this planet seems to show no mercy. But Saturn is not exactly cruelty. It simply points out what's true and cuts away what's delusional or no longer useful in our life. So, this is definitely a time where you're going to feel challenged. We're all feeling it anyway. This is like, I'm like preaching to the choir here. You guys all know this. But it's time to make it or break it, guys, for real. I mean, the fact that this came up is important. Life may seem harsh and very restrictive right now. The truth of the matter is you're facing an enemy who may be yourself right now. And Saturn shows us that at times it's in our better interest, not to have those things we want. And that if we were to have them, it could only ultimately lead to our destruction. And that really is so true. So if this is a time for any of you where you're feeling sad, or if you're feeling hopeless, realize that it's all about the diligence and sticking to what you believe in, adhering to your goals, to what you know is right. As this is a period in your life that emphasizing toughness and work is really important. It's all about not giving up and following through, and there's so much goodness on the other side of this. So much good. So we're going to be looking at stuff that's got to go. Yep, that's what we have, and that is the astrology section, guys. Let's pull some cards. Hi, Taurus. I hope you guys are doing great. Let's pull your crowning energy. Let's get right into this. Wisdom of the Oracle, crowning energy. One more shuffle. Guys, remember these messages are general. Make sure you check your rising sign, moon sign, and Venus sign for the fullest messages. And if the messages don't fit, please don't try to make them fit, okay? Please don't try to make them fit if they don't. And the energies can always be flip-flop. Meaning what I say for you, it can be somebody who's very close to you in your life right now. Something they might be going through right now, okay? It's just something to keep in mind. Go the distance. Nice. All right, so this is about being in it for the long haul, right? This is about endurance and strength. First of all, those of you who are open to love or are in love, this indicates a very strong relationship if you're already in love. If you're not, you're definitely calling somebody in who's going to be very important in your life, very supportive, and you are going to be comfortably being able to be in it for the long haul. And what I mean by that is it doesn't mean that everything's going to be, butterflies and roses all the time. There are going to be bumps, obviously, but this is going to be your person. This is very, very benefic energy as far as meeting somebody new. Now, as an advice, this is really telling you to let go of things that really aren't important and really working on your resiliency. Figuring out figuring out a way to develop new skills of survival. And I know that sounds very dramatic, but this is about perception. And it's kind of like what we were talking about, right, with the astrology. Because with this Aquarius energy, everybody's going to be thinking out of the box. And this is you really thinking outside of the box as far as what is best for you in the long run for your life. So really, really positive vibe. I really like it. Going the distance. And Taurus, Pentacle, beautiful earth energy. Love Taurus energy. Who doesn't love a Taurus? Come on now. They know what good food is. They know what good clothes are. They know how to appreciate beauty. They're ruled by Venus. But at the same time, they're practical. So they're not like, all over the place. Generally speaking, the archetype. Obviously, it depends what else you have in your chart. Especially Taurus rising signs, I like that. Okay, so let's get right into this. Guys, as always, these messages are general. I will try to connect them to relationships, love, family, friend. And then I'm just going to go specifically into a love reading at the end, okay? Okay, 5 of fire. Wait, let's pull the energies and then we'll talk about it. Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay. 10 of fire reverses the outcome. What the hell is that about? All right. We'll have to clarify that a little bit. All right, so starting off, we have the 3 of fire, which is the 3 of wands. So the 3 of wands, and it's in reverse. So this just tells me that you guys are in a space of not being able to figure out what your next step is. You're turning your back on a cycle in your life. You're turning your back on a way that you've been doing something up until now. It doesn't mean you're turning your back on a person. It doesn't mean you're turning your back, but even in the 3D, but you are turning your back on a way of thinking, a way of being. It's going to be different for all of you. This is a general reading, but you're moving in a forward direction, and this is really good. And there's a lot of fire in your belly while you're doing it, but you're just not sure what your first step is, and you're in a space of recognizing that even though you can envision exactly what you want for yourself, you're feeling held back. Now that feeling held back could be because of money, it could be because of a relationship, it could be because a person is really becoming problematic and getting in your way of you moving forward. Anything that's getting in the way, but that doesn't take away from the fact that you do want you want a newness, and you want a newness in your path for sure, and you're feeling it. So then we have the Fortune's Wheel. This is about fate and synchronicity meeting up, and that's awesome. And this is awesome. And this is going to be tickling at you. So there's something fated, something very serendipitous. This is going to come and just cross your path. That's crossing this, that's going to give you some direction on what that step is going to be, or how to get that obstacle out of your way. Because there's an obstacle that's getting in the way of you being able to actually be on that path, Taurus, okay? So now we have the Four of Water, which is the Four of Cups energy, reverse crowning. So this is recognition that you just can't stay in a situation. And for very specific reasons. Like, you can, if I gave you a pen, you would be able to write down the exact reasons. There's no wishy-washy about it, right? But the thing is, I always say with this, particularly in the reverse, it's you recognizing that there's something unhealthy or wrong or not working for you, whether it's a relationship, a job, a friendship, a family connection, and you're saying, I can't be with them, I can't be in this connection because of A, B, and C, and and just feeling this sense of restlessness and feeling very sure of yourself, right, as far as why you think that way. But this energy asks for you to look a little deeper under that. And what is it about what they're doing? What is it poking at in you that's making it really bother you? Now, I don't mean to get uncomfortable for anybody here, right? But this could be you recognizing that somebody might act in a certain way in a relationship, in a way that actually mirrors something in you. And you're uncomfortable with that recognition. A lot of times that's what this energy means. But it can also be really getting front and center with what about that person's actions bothers you to such a degree that it's clearly poking at an old wound of some kind. And I always say is a very basic example, which is, can definitely apply to a good handful of you, is like, let's say you're with somebody and they really don't call you that much. Okay, we're talking about with relationship. And is it that they don't call you that much, or they don't call you enough, and it's because you have a certain level of insecurity regarding the relationship, or maybe they really don't call you that much and it's making you feel really unloved and unwanted and discounted, but yet you feel this energetic connection to them, right? So it's the understanding of how that action makes you feel that's really, really important, because the water energy has to do with our emotions. And when we're just pointing fingers, we're not dealing with our emotions. We're giving our power away to something external. So this energy wants you to use the recognition of what's bothering you about a relationship, a job, whatever it is, but then get underneath that and see how is it relating to you on an emotional level. And really think about that. And then we have the Five of Fire, which is the Five of Swords, card of conflict, Battle of the Wills in reverse, and no one's winning here. I mean, that's the thing. No one's winning. And in the reverse, this is you just being I don't even know why I'm in this argument with this person. Are you kidding? This cycle over and over. I don't want to do it. I don't want to deal with this, right? This is just really feeling at cross purposes with somebody. It's just a battle of the wills. Now, in the recent past, you're the Hermit reverse. I mean, this is a deep energy. This is the Hermit amped up. Not speaking to anybody about anything that's in the deepest recess of your mind. When I get this, usually I go, I'm shh, don't tell anybody kind of energy, right? It's such an internal, where you are thinking about your future, about some sort of plan, something you want to do. It doesn't have to be malicious or anything like that. It could just simply be you really nurturing an idea that you want to do for work, or you're really nurturing trying to figure out how to fix that relationship. how to mend that family connection. But you're thinking very deeply and you're not seeking anyone's counsel but your own. That's what I'm getting there. Look, currently right now, you're 3 of water, 3 of cups. This is the celebratory vibe. This is you feeling good about something having to do with your heart space and you celebrating with family and friends about something, okay? Something. So this is normally for an intimate relationship. Yeah. So I'm laughing because the energy that is external to you that's impacting the 3 of water is the Queen of Fire reverse. So this is the Queen of Swords reverse. So this tells me that there's some part of your life where there's an identified lack of passion, lack of movement forward. This could be a relationship that you're extracting yourself from. This could be a job that you've made the decision, I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't feel anymore. I don't feel the passion that I want to be feeling involved in this connection. I'm not feeling it. So for some of you, this can be a major in school. For some of you, it could be a job. Some of you, it could be a friendship, a family connection. And I'm not actually, let me pull back from that. I don't feel it's like a friend or a family connection, because I have there's a celebratory energy here. So either you're getting out, you're making the decision to get out of an unhealthy, toxic relationship, or you're making the decision to change career paths in some way. Something to do with how you are going to be making money or your career moving forward. Okay, and then we have the 6 of air, which is the 6 of swords, and this is in your fear. So your fear here is though moving away from something. So you're afraid, like this needs to end. So if it's the job, you're actually kind of afraid to leave the job. When you want to make sure that you have something else set up for yourself, obviously at some point. Or really working very diligently, or for a lot of you, it could be putting that project out there and you're just so scared to move into that space because that's a very vulnerable place to be, right? Any artist, that is the scariest thing, is to put the work out there, right? Just for you to fall on your face. At least that's how you'll see it. But there's a fear of moving away. There's a fear of moving out of that toxic relationship once and for all, and so there's that fear. Then we have the 10 of Wands in reverse. Yeah. So this is the end of a cycle. Yeah. This is the end of a cycle, and you're being called here in your near future to be a truer version of yourself, more authentic and more honest. You're getting a message in. Something very serendipitous has happened. This is going back to the fortune wheel, because the call means you're being called. There's something calling you. You're going to feel it intuitively, but it can happen very serendipitously. Like you run into an old friend, you get an odd text message from somebody you haven't heard from in forever. You hear a song or you read something that kicks off a string of ideas in your mind that's going to lead you onto this path that's more authentic for you and where you're going to be more happy. Now, I don't know if this can have to do with a relationship for some of you, where you hear from somebody from your past, or you're realizing through some sort of serendipitous circumstance that this toxic relationship needs to end. And you have the strength to do it. You're being called and you're being so supportive that this cycle needs to end for you in your life. It's just not okay anymore. And this could certainly be getting a call to move on another path having to do with career. Yeah, pretty direct. It just kind of is. I feel like the 3 of water is peace, though. I feel like even it's a celebratory vibe, but it's like you're going out and you're having a drink with your friends and just saying like, clarity at last. I finally feel some clarity regarding a situation. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It doesn't mean there's no confusion, right? In certain aspects of it, but it's like you're making a decision. There's a lot of fate going on here. Just between Fortune's wheel and this call energy. Just very cool. But you're getting honest with yourself. And you need to do that that's a very important component of this, is to get honest with the why. Like, if there's something wrong with this job for you, why? And don't give a flippant answer, like they don't pay me enough money. Like, well, what does that mean? They don't pay you enough money, so I know if I stay in here, I'm going to end up being very vulnerable and very insecure in the area of resources, and then I feel like I'm not going to be able to provide for myself, nonetheless help contribute to a family or to a situation. And and you might be recognizing I'm at cross purposes with myself, though, because I actually really love this work, but this is just like, it's not doing it for me, so I feel very torn. It could be that kind of thing. Or it could be even with a relationship where, honestly, like, maybe you guys are not growing at the same rate and somebody is feeling held back or held down. If you're with somebody who's very closed-minded and they're not on board with where it is that you want to go and what you want to do, in this area, moving things forward and finding whatever it is that you end up in, though, is so divinely guided, and it is meant for you to go the distance with it. So really beautiful. So if you're ending a relationship, you're certainly going to be meeting somebody else. If you're single, you are going to be meeting somebody, and that's what I'm going to actually use as just a good old segue into the love reading. Let's pull some love energies here. Let's see what we get. Love energies for Taurus. Okay, I can handle the old cards. Okay, so we'll pull one of these and we'll pull some heart and some iron wellness. Forgiveness. I love it. Yeah. This is like a good love time for you, Taurus, though. I mean, just energetically speaking, it is. So I think love. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. Nothing's gained. So that Four of Cups reverse energy, I mean, this is really speaking to that. Where you're recognizing things that, if this has to do with relationship, okay, not for career. If it was a relationship and you're like, I can't be with them because they do A, B, and C, and I would never go back to them unless they do A, B, and C kind of energy. It's getting in touch with what about what they do, how does it poke at you, poke at your underbelly, we all have a soft underbelly, and really getting in touch with that and having that conversation so that there can be forgiveness. Because nothing is gained by, it's so true, nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments, nothing. It's so hard to let go, especially, if everything surrounding it was ugly, it's hard. But it's a gift to ourselves to just accept it and let it go. Okay. It's important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on another, now is the time to give to yourself. Look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. And then embrace. Through each other you will find the missing pieces. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Well, I mean, there is the end of that cycle, right? So for some of you, you may be in no contact, or you're going to be getting back into contact, right? Because we had that outcome energy as the Ten of Wands in reverse, which indicated some upsetment there. So that could be this, just taking a step back and taking a breather, right? But it is through each other that you're going to find the missing pieces. Look deep within your heart and you'll feel my love. Beautiful. All right. You could always count on these to give a little splash of reality, though, as far as like what the narrative was. Karmic relationship. Awesome. Here we go. Not enough. Oof. Okay. Hammer. All right. Listen. Good still. Okay. Karmic relationship. Fleeting triggers. Those are lovely, right? In relationships, for those of us who've been with a karmic. Fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go and loving you. Not enough. frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues, jealousy. Taurus, so I feel like that might have been an issue in your relationship. And then we have hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, persistent, working on it, forgiveness, working on it, embracing each other. You guys are going to find the missing pieces. This is really, really beautiful. Let me just pull a couple of Rider-Waite to get any other information we might need here. I love that forgiveness card. It's so pretty. Yeah, look, cycle over. So you guys are coming, you guys, which is really good. This is really good. Because a cycle ended. But this ended already. Or it's ending now, because it needs to end. Because there was unfair, one of you or both of you felt like there was all kinds of like lack of fairness going on. All kinds of lack of fairness. And you know, what did I say about Saturn, right? Saturn is all about karma. Like, we are heavily in this karmic season. So, you know, yeah. Walking away from it. Right, you guys felt unsupported. Because Six of Pentacles in the upright is about having each other's back. And in the reverse, it's you didn't feel like your partner had your back, or they didn't feel like you had their back. Maybe you both felt like that. And it just, you felt stabbed in the back, that something was unjust and unfair, and there was a moving away, that you guys just were not being supportive enough of each other. You just weren't being supportive enough. Oh, Taurus, I feel a lot of love here, I have to tell you. I just do. I feel, I just want to go in and straighten out that knot. It's like, I feel like that. Those of you who are resonating with this, I just feel like you didn't have really good communication, and there was some sort of lack of communication. A misunderstanding, yes. Yeah. The Chariot just means that you're making a poor decision and just going off course. You guys fell off course. You fell off course. But you guys are turning it around. Look at this. We have the Queen of Cups energy, then the Emperor, then the Ten of Pentacles. So this really does finish up the narrative for me that leads us here to this forgiveness. So the Queen of Cups is just about that, the kind of love that represents home, you know? Home. What's home to us? You guys know what I mean, right? It doesn't necessarily mean you guys are living together, but it's that unconditional kind of love, really. And then the Emperor is just about being in charge and being that transformational leader, understanding what's necessary. And both of you just really entering the space of understanding what's necessary this time and getting really front and center with yourselves. And you guys are going to end up in the Ten of Pentacles energy, which is beautiful. I mean, this is about having it. You have the money you need. You have the connection you need. Emotional, mental, physical. This is it. It's beautiful. Beautiful. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy because Saturn's involved. Whenever we invite Saturn to the party, you know, everything just slows the hell down, and it hurts a whole bunch, you know, while we're in the process. But really great turnout. So I do like it, and I feel like this is cracking open this week. So good stuff. Okay, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.